Joining us today in conversation with Power for All is Ellen Dorsey, Executive Director of the Wallace Global Fund. The Wallace Global Fund is a founding member of the Divest Invest initiative, a global movement to divest from fossil fuels and invest in clean energy for all. The fund is also leading the launch of a new effort called One for All, which will call upon partners from the global development, faith, philanthropy, women's rights, and health sectors to direct 1% of their assets in the form of grants and investment capital toward ending energy poverty by 2030. Ellen, thank you so much for joining us. So can you tell us a little bit more about the One for All initiative? Understanding that it's still, early days for the development of the initiative, do you have any sense, assuming that the world is your oyster, the type of money that might be set aside for this type of initiative? And do you have a specific time period in mind for when that money might actually be spent?
Well, I think there's two ways to think about the resources. On the one hand, philanthropy and individual donors have substantial investment capital and grant dollars. Faith groups as well have substantial investment dollars. So there is a direct potential flow of resources through those two significant sectors alone. But I think what's more important is that if philanthropy, faith, the development NGOs, like kind of civil society actors, champion the billion-plus people who don't currently have access to energy, champion them as their constituency in supporting aggressive and rapid uptake in clean, safe, and affordable energy during this overall energy transition. I think the resources that can be put in early days will both seed and help scale solutions. It will also make viable for other investors investment models that in the early days may seem to be too risky. So I think thinking about these investors as being sort of the first capital in terms of investment dollars supported by grant dollars and program resources will make the field stronger and then make it more appealing or attractive to investors with deeper pockets. That's hard to predict at this point in time. So I think my goal is that we build a robust community of practice that learn and work together to try and reach scale, and to do so both with the combined resources of those participants to One for All, but also working to leverage those resources to bring in potentially larger donors.
Great. And I understand that One for All will be holding a consultation during COP22 in Marrakesh. Is that right? Are you hoping to achieve certain outcomes at that meeting?
I think what we're hoping to achieve is to bring together a diverse group of representatives from faith, philanthropy, NGOs, development groups, and finance to present the framework of One for All, to get feedback and reactions to help us shape the campaign to be stronger, more representative. Then in the beginning of 2017, we'll be doing a series of consultations in Latin America, in India, in Africa, with partners and stakeholders to the campaign to help shape it. So I think our primary objective is to get really great input and to begin to popularize the idea in the different sectors and to make it more exciting and to help build momentum, because the truth is the idea of working together is so important if we're going to get impact investments to scale, if we're going to work collaboratively to achieve the SDGs. So building that community and building the relationship of the community is an objective in its own right.
Yeah, and an important objective. So on that note, I mean, with the intent of building that robust community, how can people learn more about One for All, and obviously they can participate in some of these stakeholder meetings that you're talking about, but are there other ways for folks to contribute to the thinking on the campaign?
Yeah, actually, we'll be doing a series of webinars and consultations, and we'll have a website up and running sometime in the next couple of months, which I can't even give you the URL for right now. But I think if you reach out to me, Ellen Dorsey at Wallace Global Fund, I'll be able to give you information, and hopefully Power for All will be able to as well.
That's great, Ellen. We will absolutely be supporting you 100%, and we're happy to spread the word as things develop and contribute however we can. So thank you for giving us a little bit more information about One for All, and we'll certainly be checking back in as 2017 approaches.
Thank you. This is a definitely stay tuned, and we're in early stages of development, but I'm optimistic that if we build robust partnerships, we can achieve something truly meaningful and help scale the solutions and meet the goals of the two global governance frames of the Paris Climate Agreement and the SDGs. And thanks so much for having me today.